will soon prevail. In this land, our sacred land, darkness spreads confusion. But stand your ground and soon we'll found hope to light your way.
Medieval Chaos is a high-action role-play game. Basically, it's a LARP with a higher intensity of fighting.
I will bet my life on it because it'll probably come to that.
That's one of the things we pride ourselves more on, is that where most LARPs are lightest touch, we are a higher level combat. It has its own evolving story, its own world, and you get to dress up, become a different character, a different person, interact with people in different ways.
Say the word Bambi usually does it.
Bambi?
I see. This is serious. Yes, Bambi.
Okay.
Yeah?
Does he have a last name?
Alnor?
Yes. What does he look like? Does he look like me?
I think his last name... Jones. Alnor Jones.
Jones.
I'm here to bring Tertius back because I do believe there's a wee bit of good in him. Even though I pointed it out to him on a number of occasions and he vehemently disagreed with me and argued that there was no good in him.
Well, I'm a pastor. I work part-time as the assistant pastor here at this church, North Doug Church, but most of my time I spend working with university students at UVic.
Oh, she not get heart back. That's what's wrong with her, yes?
What do you mean? We're going to be putting your heart back today.
Yeah.
I think we vote.
No.
Wow, okay.
No.
You know what? Laugh it up. Laugh it up.
Grizzlug,
want buy a
Grizzlug,
potion
don't
from
pick on Kippo
Oh,
or
now
I'll
you
give
want
you a
to,
flower
now
and
you
it's
want to,
pretty.
now you want to buy potions. He's gonna eat it.
I've had 3 heart surgeries. I've been diagnosed with osteoarthritis, osteonecrosis in my collarbone and in my finger joints. I've got fibromyalgia and a couple of other things.
See is why Grizzlug buy scale. Put scale in and grind up. Then rub on armor. Make armor stronger, can take more hit. Grizzlug won't be ready for trouble yet.
I work for an underground sprinkler company. I've got 2 young daughters. I take care of them half-time on my own, and they're with their mom the other half of the time.
We can go kill him now.
He's still with me.
Oh, don't worry about it.
No, I always worry about it. Who are you gonna kill?
Outside of MC, I don't have the closest knit family for me personally, so I feel I really get that with a lot of people in Medieval Chaos.
I grant people's wishes for a price, and this is my entourage who are coming to protect me, get rid of any unneeded nuisance.
I don't really know where I'd be in life if I've never had Medieval Chaos in my life. I mean, like, my life could be completely different. Some of my closest, bestest friends are from there.
I was the poster child Christian kid, knew exactly what to say, knew how to act, prided myself in being religious, being spiritual. I came to a point in my life where a lot of the things that I had kind of counted on to make me good or better kind of fell through, and I found myself alone. I remember laying in bed and kind of, saying to God, I was done with the whole Christian thing. In the before time when I was trying to do all these religious things, I had kind of had this this call, I guess, to become a pastor. And during this crisis time, this crisis of faith, when I became really cynical, I dropped all of that. I ended up a few years later going back to a Christian college, graduating and becoming a pastor. Not because, because at first I thought being a pastor was kind of this privileged position, and through that crisis I didn't want that anymore, but I ended up doing it anyways, but for a completely different reason.
I've traveled all through South America as a kid. Brazil, Chile mainly is where I'm from. Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Paraguay, all that. I moved up here, oddly enough, with my son, who was 2 years old at the time, in 1996, right after this huge snowfall. We never seen snow before. We came from 42 degrees in the shade from Brazil to Canada, it was like this high snow. It was crazy. Wanted to come up here and get a better life for, my son, have a future, do something, with my life and not be, expected to live the life that was given to me down there, which I was not really all right with at the time.
I kind of grew up all over. My dad was in the Air Force, so I spent time in Ontario, Germany, Edmonton, and decided to go to university in Victoria. I did quite a lot of reading from when I was younger. That just really developed my interest in these activities that I do now.
We ran the LGBTQ group at school, and then the talk of LARPing happened in it, and then it's actually how I started LARPing. We had mutual friends that knew other LARPers who went to Medieval Chaos in Duncan. This was before I even knew what Medieval Chaos was, and they offered to teach us the basics of LARP.
When I first created Connor, I wanted him to be different from me, and so I made him an atheist. Really hard to be an atheist in the game of Medieval Chaos because, in the game of Medieval Chaos, there are many gods, and some of them show up in the game, actually in person. But Connor, I guess he's not really an atheist, but he doesn't have faith in any of the gods.
Do it, darling!
I think I've always had a bit of a fascination with Celtic, Scottish, Braveheart. If you asked my wife, she'd be like, she'd tell you that I've always wished I was Scottish, I just love the whole, Highlander kilts. I've asked my wife for years if I can wear a kilt, and here was a perfect excuse.
And I'm like, I need a name. I'm like, I don't have a name. What do I name myself? I don't want like a long, I can't even remember my own name. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna pick two of my top favorite things, hippos and kitties. So I went with kitty hippo, Kippo. And that stuck.
Hello, sir. Are you out doing your soul stealing for the day, I see?
She can't do math. She owns 2 shops. She does math. Her math is 1. Well, how much is it, Kippo? 1.
Yeah, because that's
okay. Well, I want 2. Well, then give me 1 and 1. And that's how she conducts business for the most part. She's just 1, 1, 1, 1, and she'll count up like 50 crowns, just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Is don't tell anyone. Is a rumor that vampires try to kill leader of nowhere, so Grizzlug is protect leader.
Grizzlug is a goblin, first off. Goblins are small creatures, and I'm not. So I had to come up with a reason why, I'm taller. And I thought, it's just gonna be easier to crouch.
You like Grizzlug now? Grizzlug part missing, her part missing too.
But somebody tried to heal that.
Yeah.
Banished from his tribe for being too big, too brave, too nice, not goblin enough. Goblins tend to be very cowardly creatures. So I always say that Grizzlug isn't brave. He's just more brave than other goblins.
No one here, hero.
A sense of humor is a little bit on the risque side.
Life make everybody no hero.
And I think he gets that from me, but I think in turn Grizzlug gives a little bit more back.
This Rosalia is Grizzlug Queen.
I'm Rosalia Slavari. I'm Queen of Imbolic with my king.
I usually will do like a movie that, like the night before, I'll watch a movie that's kind of related to the character that really, I feel kind of connects to that one. Or a lot I do is listen to music, so I'll make a really long playlist to songs that really connect with the character and they help me get into the right headspace. I'm like, I need to not be nice.
I like fire, I like warmth, and I love a good soul.
We leave it up to the player base being creative, which a lot of them get super creative, and it's really cool to see what people come up with.
Come down to Hooverland. They've got free pots and pans. Come down to Hooverland and get a free cheese grater. Come down to Hooverland. Got lots of spare scrap metal. No wait, that's just Centaurian.
I don't have a whole lot of preparation to get into character. A lot of it's just get dressed up and then pretend.
At my age, I'm getting a wee bit old. I'm quite proficient in drinking burnt beans.
People can put their jobs, their work, their problems, all behind them, put on this costume, and transform themselves into a person who doesn't have those issues, those problems, those concerns. I don't need to think about anything more than just that guy who stole my change purse last week, you know, or, oh, I've got court coming up this week and I got to talk to the king about, you know, the lady that slighted me in the bar, you know, like those are the concerns.
We have a good time. I get to serve drinks and watch people get wasted off their minds.
And look, somebody's being murdered right now.
Oh, no fighting in the bar. I'm really good at my job.
I think the group of people out there is absolutely fantastic. Very welcoming, really interested in having people come out and enjoy with us. Although, don't get offended if their character doesn't like you.
I will kill you.
I didn't do anything. That's his own decision.
I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
We have two areas there, the parking lot, which is us, and then inside, and that's their character, which may not be as friendly.
When our game's about to start, we usually have a conch where we'll call out first members, like first players, and we always have people come in there, which we do a round of applause and cheering because we always love new people. After conch, one of our staff members will hold back and inform them like, hey, these are the basic rules when you're on the field. Like if you have any questions or stuck, feel free to find these players. Like we always try to make sure they're very well informed when they're on the field.
I don't think I've ever been part of such a diverse community, which sometimes creates conflict, and that's okay. Every community in this world has conflict at some point.
Oh, well, yeah, then we're gonna have to kill her at some point in the day. It's just gonna happen.
I drive people up to Medieval Chaos sometimes, and you know, my truck is full, you know, it has, you know, a witch, a pagan, a First Nations shaman, and a Christian pastor, and it sounds like the beginning of a joke, but it's not. Like, it's such a diverse community.
For myself as a player, I write down a lot of things as like my character, but out of character, we have a website that we called medievalchaos.ca that we keep all of our kingdom information and all that jazz that you're like, hey, you forgot this info and you're curious about it? Here you go.
I turned 52 this summer. I started doing Medieval Chaos when I was 51. We have all ranges out there, and I think there's something there for everyone.
I don't like what they're doing over there, because they're trying to resurrect a soul that's already been accepted into the realm of death, and my God doesn't like that, because we're taking souls away from him.
Put aside, you know, the idea is that this is kind of weird, because it is. And you can have a lot of fun.
You live in a fantasy world where you can just forget about all of the cares of this world right now and just move yourself into this little tiny place where you can just have some fun with other people who are having just as much fun as you are.
I am rarely surprised anymore by what I see here.
How you doing? What'd you kill for this? The hell is this dude?
Oh, you don't want to know.
No, I don't think I will. What the?
Don't eat it. Put it away.
Damn it!